Come on in, you guys. Come on in, you guys. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Love Coach Sessions. Welcome to our show, Secrets of the Mind of a Man, where we talk about how men think when it comes to dating, relationships, and love. So come on in the house, y'all. We got a great topic today. We're talking about it. We're getting into it. I saw it online. I announced it online, and somebody was like, yo, that's going to be a good show. And you know what? You are correct. It is going to be a good show. It's a good topic. It's a worthy topic, and one that definitely needs our attention. So today, you guys, we're talking about it. Why men lose attention. All right. All right. Check it out. Why men lose attention. We're going to get into it in just a minute. Check it out. Check this out.
That money clip us now, the new now looks like whoa. Upgrade her diamonds, now her girlfriends are like whoa. I hit recorded drop, you can't ignore it.
All right, you guys, welcome to the show. We're getting it in, you guys. Welcome to the show. Glad you guys came through today. Let's get into it, you guys. We're talking about it. I got 5 reasons why men lose attention, and you guys come on into the chat room. I would actually love for everybody to come on into the show from the YouTube side, where we really get it in. And you guys make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit the bell so you don't miss anything in the future. Give me that thumbs up. Let me know that you guys are in the building. Leave me a comment. Let me know that you're here. And even I always like to know where people are from. So as you come into the chat, let me know where you are watching the show from. I want to know where people are checking out the show, where we watching the show, and how we hanging out from there. So come on in. So we're talking about it, you guys. 5 reasons men lose their interest in a woman. All right. So just to kind of get this going, I've been having this conversation quite a bit, and I'm seeing it out there, and I'm seeing it's happening, right? You're having conversations with somebody. You're talking, texting, calling, and it's going great, right? And you might feel like, you know what? And this is for the ladies, and I want to hear from the guys too. I want to hear y'all comments. My man Kwamu is in the building. All right, Robert, thank you so much. Keisha's in the building. Come on, y'all. Look, you're having these conversations, and guys, I want y'all to chime in and tell me if I'm on point, and also tell me what I'm leaving out, right? Because I know some of you guys, y'all know what I'm talking about, right? So we're gonna help the ladies out with this today. Having these conversations, everything is going smooth, everybody's cool, everybody's happy. Like this, you looking forward to the text messages coming through, looking forward to that good morning text, looking forward to that good evening text, have a good night text message, right? And all of a sudden, it all stops. What do you do? Why did this happen? Why is it that a man will lose his attention? Why does a guy lose his focus just when it seems like things were going good? Right? We're going to talk about it, because I've been talking to some ladies who've been talking about getting ghosted by men, whether they meet them online, meeting them, in person. Things are going good, and all of a sudden, boom, nothing. So we're going to talk about it, and I got 5 reasons this happens, and we're going to talk about what you can do about it as well. So let's talk about it, you guys. 5 reasons. Number 1, one of the number 1 reasons a man loses his interest in a woman is it was just too easy. She does not create enough challenge for him. Right? Check this out. Everything that is good that happens by tension. Okay? Everything that's good that happens, it happens by tension. You watch the show that you watch because they create tension. The characters in the show, like, you know, you trying to figure out who did it, right? If you watch the ID channel, you're trying to figure out who murdered the person, who's guilty, who, you know, they create intrigue. And in the shows, they'll say, um, and when we come back, we're going to tell you X, Y, Z, right? It's a cliffhanger. They need you to hang on. They need you to stay tuned. They want you to stay tuned so you come back, and slowly and slowly, they let you in on how the thing is going to end, right? And so, look, that's why most of us hate to come into the middle of a movie, right? Because we want to know what happened. So we want to know from the beginning. We don't want to have to try to catch up to it, right? We want to know, why is this happening? What's happening? And, you know, what's really going on? It's the same thing. If there's no tension in the relationship, in the connection, in what you have, there's no tension. There's nothing to look forward to. Can you imagine sitting there watching a show with no tension, with no characters of, you don't know what's going to happen next, or like a show that you know what's going to happen next, right? No tension. It becomes boring. And the last thing you want to be to a man is boring. Anybody listening to me? Look, the last thing you want to be to a man is boring. Because if you're boring, start, why am I even here? And so it begins. So if it's too easy and there's no challenge, you will probably lose that man's interest, and he'll go his way. All right, that's number one. All right, number two is his personal life has become more important. His personal life, the things that's going on in his life. Number two, the second reason men lose interest is his personal life, right? Let me lay it out for you. If a man loses his job, right, his job is to go get a job. He needs all of his focus on getting a job, right? If he loses his income, a man is only going to be able to think about getting some income, right? He's not really concerned about how your day went, what's going on in your day. Did your dog die? Did you, you know, look, he's not going to be concerned about any of that stuff. If he lost his job, or anything has happened to his money, right? Everything else becomes second nature. It becomes later. It's not important, right? So you might say, well, you know what? I could help him. I can help him, right? Yeah, you might be able to help him, but he has to do it for himself, right? I get this question often too, you guys. The question will be like, why, how come this guy hasn't asked to marry me? We've been seeing each other for all this time, and a long time. We've been together. We've done everything. We've gone places. We know each other's parents. Our families are good. How come he hasn't asked to marry me? One of the reasons could be his money ain't right, right? Because a man knows. Listen to this, y'all. Look, I hope somebody taking notes. Y'all need to take notes on this tonight, y'all. A man often knows that once he says certain things, it sends him down a certain track, right? Certain things. One of the things is, I love you. When a man says, I love you, there's a new set of expectations that happen after a man says, I love you, right? So that's maybe why the guy's not saying, I love you, right? Because there's a certain thing. Now once a man says, I love you, now he has to be prepared to do all the things that someone has to do when they love somebody. Does that make any sense? My man Ray is in the building. I like that comment. I'm coming over there. Look, he has to be prepared to do all the things, you know, um, whatever it is that that woman is going to require. It's going to, maybe some of the things like, start getting your finances together, merging finances, merging life. Some people want to move in. Some people want to, you know, do what all these other things, right? And the guy may not be quite ready for all of that. So, uh, so if he's got all these things going on in his life, he might just lose interest. If he might just pull away if he's got all of these issues inside of him. Now, here's the thing, you guys. Sometimes men have a lot of things going on inside of them in their minds. They could be thinking about, issues in their family, meaning their parents. Um, I saw one article, or I don't know, I heard somebody say that a guy pulled back from him because his parents got divorced, right? And so he needed time to think and the process, and that was a devastating thing. A man gets again, loses his income, loses his money. Sometimes you got to take a step back. So if life issues are happening or take the front seat in his life, he might just back up from you and pull all the way back. All right. All right. All right. This is a good one. Number 3. This is a good one. Something. Here it is. Number 3. What of the 5 reasons men lose interest? Number 3. Something or someone has his attention. Something or someone. You want to know why you lost attention? Something or someone has his attention. Now, that something could be his business opportunity, right? Man's trying to get a business going. He might lose interest in talking to you, right? Because look, we only got so much time in a day. We only have so much time to do the things that we want to do in our day, right? Sometimes, he can't get it done if he's talking to you. He can't get it done if he's texting you, right? So the other things take their attention, but sometimes it's something else, right? Something else that's more important. Sometimes it's someone else, right? Because sometimes he might have an ex-girlfriend that's just hanging around. Got that ex-girlfriend that is he's not quite over yet. Okay. Somebody he might be just, it could be anything, but trust and believe somebody could have his attention and it just slips away. All right. Now, I'm gonna pause right here for a minute because I think you got to talk about, like, what do you do? What do you do? And fellas, I want y'all to pipe in on this too. What should she do? What do you do if his attention has waned for you and is on someone else? I'll tell you from my perspective. I want to hear the guys chime in on this for y'all. His attention is on somebody else. The best thing you can do is to pull back. The best thing he can do, the best thing you can do is to pull back, right? Because he's going to have to miss you. You're going to have to pull back. As long as you're there, you're happy, like you're pulling at him, pulling for his attention, he'll let you pull for his attention. And he'll keep letting his attention go the other way. But you have to have your own self-worth all together intact, right? And understand, if a person does not want you, guess what? They don't want you. And you can't make somebody want you. You can't talk them into it. You can't bribe them into it. You can't sex them into it, right? If a person does not want you, guess what? They do not want you. And you can't make them want you. All right. So the best thing you can do is pull back. And look, here's another thing you could do. You can announce to him that I'm pulling back, just so he knows. Hey, listen, I can tell things are not the way they used to be. Things are not what they were. And I would like for things to get back to where they were. But if you don't feel that way, if you don't think that things should go, we should continue, you know what? I think you should go and pursue whatever it is that you want to pursue. Look, you're going to have to set him free. Now, it's going to hurt to have to set him free. Hey, Crystal, it's going to hurt to have to set him free. You may have some lonely moments, some lonely nights, some lonely experiences. But the thing that I love about human beings is we have this power that has kept us alive for thousands of years. Y'all know what that power is? That power is the ability to adapt. Adaptability. Look, adaptability is the only reason we are still on earth as human beings. Adaptability. We can adapt to any situation. We can overcome it. There's nothing that's too hot. It's not too cold. It's not too hard. It's not too soft. We can go up. We can go down. We can go under. We can go around. We can always adapt to everything. And for some of you, you may have to adapt to being alone. But it's better to be alone than to be disrespected. It's better to be alone than to be in a relationship alone. Ooh. Come on, y'all, talk to me in here. Yes. LV, you on the wrong side. I need you on this side. I need you on the YouTube side. Yes, my friends are on the Facebook side. I love it. So look, if someone else has the guy's attention, you have to pull back. You got to pull back because he's got to come to it all on his own. I'm gonna pop over here to the comments and then I'll get back to the numbers here. Yes. I see y'all coming through on the Facebook side. Love it. My man Ray said better than Monday Night Football. Love it, bro. Appreciate it. Yes, sir. Robert Lee, what's happening, good brother? No real conversation. Yes. LV said keep it moving. Okay. All right, Dr. Carla, ignore and you get more. I like that, she said. Yes. All right. Robert Lee, my man. He said, one of my things is unfinished business with an X that comes up and she didn't tell me or she told it was finished, but I'd love to see more of that. All right. Let me get back to it. All right. Let's get back to it. So that number three is something or someone has his attention. Number four, let's get to it. Number four, the fifth reason a man loses interest. The fourth reason a man loses interest. It has become too serious for him. The fourth reason a man loses interest. It has become too serious for him. A man can lose attention and pull back if it gets too serious. What does that mean? Starts having to go to your mama's house, sit down and have to talk to your daddy. Maybe he don't want to do that. That look, and this is not saying that these things are right. I'm just telling you what is. All right. Maybe things are getting serious and the hints are coming about getting married. Maybe the conversation about wanting kids is something that he's not quite comfortable with, right? Some people have a you know trauma in their background around some of these things, right? Unhealed trauma, all right? Unhealed trauma will impact it. So some of these guys have that, right? And it's getting too serious. It's too intense. It's too much, just too much, right? So my man's like, whoa, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. You want me to pay your bills? My man, like, ho, wait a minute, wait a minute. So so you're saying, as a couple, the expectation is for me to pay your bills. I got to go to your mama's house. I have to send you flowers at work. I got to do this. I got to do that. Wait a minute. It's getting to be too much. So a man will start pulling back. Now, I hope somebody, when you guys saw that this title of lose interest, it doesn't necessarily mean lose interest in terms of like being interested in you. It just could mean pulling back. 5 reasons a man loses interest could also be traded for 5 reasons a man pulls back, right? So things are getting too uncomfortable for him. There's too much pressure, right? So here, what do you do with this if there's too much pressure? Ladies, let me tell you something. You can apply too much pressure too soon, right? I want you to first analyze that, right? I don't want you to just always say, oh, well, I'll just walk away. Oh, I'll just walk away. Oh, I'll just walk away, right? Because see, some of these things are actually things that can be fixed, that can be tweaked, right? But it's all in how you handle it. Some of these things could be tweaked, but it's all in how you handle it, right? Things are getting serious, and you can see him starting to get he doesn't want to talk about, let's say, the wedding, right? You can ask him, hey, tell me what's going on. I noticed when we started talking about having kids, you quickly changed the subject. Is that a sensitive area for you, right? Listen to this. Sometimes people don't even know that things are a sensitive area. Sometimes men don't even know that this particular thing is a sensitive area. May not even know. He might not even know it in himself. But now, when you bring it up, now I guess we could talk about it. Yes, I was abused as a child, right? That's not me, but the guy could say that. I was abused as a child. And now you have some insight as to why the guy is backing up. When now you can say, hey, babe, listen. Let's call a therapist. Let's find a counselor. Let's find someone who can help you walk through that process and get healed from that trauma. I'm telling y'all, sometimes a man will back up and sometimes a man loses interest because of his own trauma. Sometimes the trauma is from a past relationship, right? Some people got PTSD of relationships. All right. Some people have thoughts and feelings about past relationships that have absolutely nothing to do with you. So if you don't ask, if you don't inquire, you may not know. But so look, that's what I'm saying. Don't be so quick to just say, you know what? I'm done with him. I don't need him. Look, he pulling away from me. Bye. Okay. You're gonna say bye to a lot of people, and there's some smart woman is gonna take some of these tips right here from Kel and apply them and get that good guy who is just a little nervous or concerned, has anxiety around an issue that could just easily be solved. All right. So if it's getting if it's getting too serious for him and you observe that, look, you need to be observing a guy's behavior with this. When you bring up these topics, how does he feel? How does he look? Does he look uncomfortable? Does he look like he doesn't want to talk about that? Right? It's too serious for him. Things have gotten before y'all used to just go out and get ice cream and talk about the future and dreams and all of this stuff. And now you're talking about kids and bills and mortgages and diamond rings and jobs and money and going and having to have Thanksgiving at your mama's house and Christmas dinner at grandma's house where everybody's going to be. And all, look, if a guy is ready for all of that, boom, no problem. Right. But some men can feel that kind of pressure and slowly start backing up. Slowly start backing up. Number 5. The 5th reason men lose interest. The 5th reason is the lack of intimacy. The lack of intimacy. The 5th reason that men lose interest or pull back is the lack of intimacy. You know, sometimes start off with a great romance, something like it sound like something out of the storybook. We met across a crowded room. Our eyes met, and it was love at first sight. Our hands, I reached out my hand and told you, come here. Come to me. Let me hold you in my arms. And he held you in his arms and looked you in your eyes and said, I'm going to kiss you. I'm going to kiss you. And he kisses you. And it's a very beautiful moment. And you guys enjoy that intimacy on all the levels. And then, you know, you no longer find him attractive, it seems, to him. He feels like you don't find him attractive anymore. You don't kiss him like you used to. You don't enjoy intimacy. Things have gotten stale. Things have gotten boring. And so, you know, he's like, I'd rather read a book. Right? I'd rather just, I got better things to do. Slowly but surely, he starts backing up. So I'm telling you. Now, of course, you guys, I'm taking the level that I'm not telling you what to do in your intimacy. I said intimacy, right? So for some people, that means holding hands. And for some people, that means sex. Okay. Whatever it is that you did, try and find ways to keep the fire going. Right? Because if a man starts losing interest in you for intimately, he may start gaining interest in someone else intimately. Right? You have to do something to keep the fire going. On tomorrow, you guys, I got the show with my boy with my Q two Qs having conversation tomorrow. We're going to talk about this thing with Jada Pinkett. So I want y'all to tune in tomorrow at 9:00, around the same time tomorrow, because we got the two Qs coming on. We got a conversation about that, about this intimacy thing, and people talking about their love life in public and all of that. So we're gonna get into that tomorrow. So y'all make sure y'all tune in for that show. So, but you have to be, listen, this is a real thing, right? If you lack intimacy, you lack the fiber, the stuff that keeps it all together. And I'm telling you, it's not easy to keep intimacy going. It takes work. It can be difficult, right? Doesn't mean that the person doesn't love you. Doesn't mean that, but and sometimes it does mean that the person doesn't love you if they're not being intimate with you. If they're losing the desire to even share intimate moments, share intimate conversations. That could be the reason that they are losing interest in you. Let me pop over here and check out these comments. Got some good comments. All right. All right. Man, I wish I had to put this in on the look, if these comments, you guys, if y'all had joined in on the Love Coach side, on the Love Coach Facebook page, I could have put these up on the screen, but I can't. But oh well. All right, check it out. Here's a comment. My man Ray said, "You are talking truth tonight." Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate the love, bro. My man Ray, again, he said, women don't want to miss out on the next Superman. Many women date and chase potential. Oh, so that must be this is Ray's reason why men lose interest. I like it. All right. My man Robert Lee, he said, one of my things is unfinished business. Yeah, I read that one. Hey, there's my wife. She said, did he announce to you that he was no longer interested? Generally, men don't announce that they're no longer interested. All right. Men do not announce. They don't tell, they show. If a man is not interested anymore, a man generally don't come up and say, I'm not interested in you anymore. No, he just stops calling you. He just stops texting you. He just stops communicating with you. And the next thing you know, that's it. All right. LV, she said, if I'm walking away, conversation has probably been had already. She says, if you're walking away, you already had the conversation. Okay. All right. Kwanu said, I got some doozies. All right. Let me see what Kwanu said. He said, I talked with her on the phone for a month. All right. So we got a real scenario, you guys. I'm going to read the real scenario. All right. He says, I talked with her for a month. The first physical meeting was at her place, met the family and friends, but there was no spark in person. And in my mind on the way there was, if she doesn't have anything for me to eat, is to tell, let me open it up. If she don't have anything for me to eat, is to tell. He says, guess what? No food. That was all I needed to see. That's a good one, Kwanu. I appreciate that, brother. So ladies, look, you better feed them. If a man don't feel a spark, you better feed him. A man is judging. Fire and desire. I see you. All right. So Kwanu answered that question. My wife asked that question. How come? Does the guy tell you that he's losing attention? Kwanu says, no, we don't say anything because they throw shot glasses at your head. Could turn bad. It could turn bad. All right. Dr. Collins said, men hunt Women should not, period. All right. I like it. I like it. Yes. Men should hunt, right? But if they feel like now this is not part of the five, and I'm gonna run the five back down to you guys, but I'm just going with it right now. If a man feels unappreciated, these are some bonuses, you guys. Man feels unappreciated, he loses his spark. If a man feels criticized, he loses his desire to go after. Listen to this, y'all. The desire to go after is the same as that which arouses. It's the same as that which arouses. A man has to be aroused to hunt. Dr. Carla, did you hear what I said? A man has to be aroused by you to hunt for you. If a man is not aroused for you, he could care less. Yeah. Right? But when a man desires you, he chases you. He comes after you. He inquires about you. He wants you and he lets you know. Okay? But if there's no arousal, if there's no desire, and look, desire can be created by a woman. That's a whole nother show. I have a program called Captivation that I'm putting together. I'm getting ready to release it in a week or two. Right? I taught it to the clients. Some of my clients, they loved it. So I put it together. I'm gonna hang it out for sale very shortly. Called Captivation. Teaches how how men are captivated. What sparks interest? What sparks intrigue? What causes a man to desire a woman? He's just not going to desire you just because you say, well, he's male, I'm female, he should come after me. I'm a man, he's a man, she's a woman, and just because you're a woman, he has to want you, he has to desire you? Absolutely not. Look, and this is even in relationships, right? Just because you're in a relationship with somebody, that doesn't mean that they're automatically supposed to be all over you and desire you in that way, right? You have to seed desire. You have to pour water on that seed of desire. You have to take that seed of desire and put it in the right environment for that seed to grow. Look, the seed of attraction has to be in the right environment to grow. Guess what the wrong environment for the seed of connection and desire is? Being critical, being oppositional, having a smart mouth all the time. Nobody can tell you nothing. Nobody can, you talking about, I want a man that can lead, but you won't listen. You won't follow, right? That weakens the whole attraction thing. Why? Because you're not giving it the right nutrients to grow the attraction. Look, so this talk, you guys, is not necessarily only for those that are dating, right? This is for people who are in a relationship already. You are going to have to be able to maintain the attraction and maintain the connection over time. That's what we're going to talk about tomorrow. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. I'm holding some of that back for tomorrow, because we're going to talk about that with Jada Pinkett Smith, about holding attraction and maintaining attraction with your man. All right. So look, let me run these down to you guys, and then let me go ahead and open up the. I'm going to open the. I'm going to open up the phone lines for you guys. If y'all want to go ahead and call in, We are set up. We're ready to take your calls. I would love for y'all to call in and share your thoughts, share your opinion. Let me hear what you have to say on it. The number is 540-792-0128. And when it asks you for the access code, it's 909796. All right. So let's go with it. All right. So let me run those five down to you, and then we're going to get some calls. You guys go ahead, give us a call, and we'll chop it up from there. So the 5 reasons men lose interest. Number 1, it's too easy and it's not enough challenge. Number 2, personal life is more important and a higher priority than you. Number 3, someone or something has his attention. This is the 5 reasons men lose interest. Something or someone has his attention. Number 4, it's just too serious for him at the moment. Too pushy, too serious. And number 5, you are lacking in intimacy. There's a lack of intimacy somewhere. There's a lack of intimacy in the relationship. We check the phone lines, see if anybody's on the line. Today we're talking about why men lose attention. Why men lose attention. Go ahead and give us a call. Let us know that you are in the building. Let me see if I can grab some more of these comments. See what I might have lost. All right. My girl LV, she said that's if he responds. So many men just shut down, making it hard to find out if he has a sensitive issue. Why? Fellas, y'all go ahead and jot down y'all answer to that question. Why do men shut down and not talk about what's really going on so they can let the woman know what's happening with them if they have a sensitive issue? Okay. Now, I'll jump out and say one of the reasons a man will shut down and not talk about the sensitive issue is because it's sensitive, right? Let's say a guy has been sexually assaulted as a child, right? Maybe he was sexually abused as a child. Now, today we don't consider the 14-year-old babysitter who, played with the 8-year-old boy. We don't really, back in the day, I know a guy who actually brags that he had his first sexual experience at 9 years old, right? He brags about that. Today, we know that as abuse, sexual assault, and sexual battery, and all of that, right? But let's say this guy has this sensitive issue. He's been abused as a child, sexually abused as a child, and it's one of the worst things for men. It's one of the worst things for men to actually talk about, right? But so you ask why won't he talk about it? Because it hurts, because it's difficult, because in our society, check it out, in our society, men are taught to keep your complaining to yourself. Nobody wants to hear it. Men in our society are taught nobody wants to hear what you go through, what you've been through. Nobody wants to hear your belly aching. Nobody wants to deal with any of that. Right? That's what we're taught in our society. Deal with it. Be a man. Nobody wants to hear about why are you talking about the past? The past is the past. Leave the past in the past. Well, for some men, the past impacts their present every single day. So they can't leave it in the past because it comes with them. You guys know my background is in working with males, right? And I can remember this one guy, this one young man that I was sent over to do in-home counseling with. And I went to this guy's house, right? When I got inside this boy's house, for whatever reason, he was being raised by his father. And his mother was long gone. And he was a good kid. He was a big kid, right? One of them kids that joked all the time and everything was funny, everything was laughter. He was probably like, I'd say probably about 14, 15 years old. And through the conversations and through the counseling, in-home counseling that we did with him, we discovered that his father used to prostitute him. His father actually used to have him dress up in drag, put him out, send him out in the streets as a prostitute. The boy was like 14, 15 years old, right? And this actually came from his lips. He told us a story of this traumatic situation that he had to go through. It was very painful for him. It was embarrassing to have to dress up like a woman. So we actually ended up having to bring his father in and have the conversation with him. His father was irate. That didn't happen. There's no way. He was irate. And the boy was in the room. And the boy just sat there and like sunk down in his chair. So the boy is there with his only parent. Mother was gone. I don't know if she died or she ran away. And he's sitting across from his father, who he says this happened to his father, happened to him. His father said it didn't happen. We ended up having to, I'm pretty sure the boy ended up having to, leave the house and was put into a youth shelter. But not long after that, we got word that at the youth shelter, he had abused another boy. And of course, he protested, no, it didn't happen. The boy said, yes, it did happen. And so there are some people, y'all, who have been through some stuff. There's some men out here who have been through some difficult situations. They've been through some things that you can't even imagine. And sometimes to talk about it is very, very painful. Now, this young man, I'm sure if he didn't get enough therapy, he probably needs to stay in therapy like his whole life, right? But if he got tired, if he got to the place, he said, you know what? I don't need this therapy stuff. I'm out of here. I'm done. Because now, of course, he's a grown man. He's probably in his 30s at this point. There's probably a woman somewhere who can't figure out what is wrong with this guy. What is wrong with this guy? Why won't he love me? Why won't he care about me? Why won't he let me into his heart? Why won't he share intimacy with me? Yes, he'll have sex, but he won't be intimate. He won't be open to me. That's because he's dealing with some stuff. And listen to this, if a man won't deal with his stuff, you can't make him. If a man won't deal with his sensitive issues, you can't make him. You can't force him. You can only encourage him. You can only support him. Can't force him, but you can support him. And as he gets that need, listen, encourage him. Encourage him to go to therapy. Encourage him to get a good support system. Get in a good church where you can talk to the pastor or and he can have good conversations with other men. Some churches have good cell groups, right? I don't care if it's the church. I don't care if it's the fraternity. I don't care if it's therapy. Man's got to get some kind of place where he can just let go of his thoughts and those feelings and those situations that have gone on. Are y'all with me? All right, let me check the phone line. Come on, you guys give me a call. Call in. 540-792-0128. 909-796 is the access number. It gets you in. Let's have a conversation about this topic here tonight. All right. Good stuff. All right, you guys. Let's see if we got any more questions that I didn't get to answer. All right. See if we got any more questions I didn't get to yet. I'm going to hit a refresh on that right there. All right. Okay. Good stuff, you guys. All right. Well, thank you all so much. Look, I'm glad everybody came through. Look, I got a gift for you for staying to the end. Absolutely. Look, if there's a topic that needs to be covered, hit me up at lovecoachatlanta@gmail. If you need a coaching session, love coach session. If you're one of these people who can't figure out why this guy is distancing himself and you want to talk specifically about your situation, go ahead, hit me up on the email as well. You guys know we have the free course, findingthe1.club. Findingthe1.club is where it's at, where it's going down, and where we're making it happen. So, all right, you guys, thank y'all so much for being here. Till next time, peace and love.